You've also got to understand, in terms of what we're going to fix, what's my customer actually asking for? Because I can sell them a Rolls Royce, but the truth is they want a Kia. You know what? I can take both of your processes and they would be absolutely identical. The way you engage with your customer, the way you engage with your customer, the way you engage with your customer in IT, exactly the same. It's the process is identical. The only thing that's changed is the product that is going through. It's the only thing that's changed. So why can't I then take all of these customer verbatims from all the different services that I do and start to data mine to see what information is in there? Does that make sense? Yeah. So one of the big things we do here is we look at the big picture and go, oh my life, we can't ever fix this. You know, and I've got so many customers and they're all got different demands on me. I start doing this data mining, and what then immediately starts to come out is these people are all saying the same thing, but they're saying it in a different way. So the number of solutions that I need to feed my customers is a lot less than I think it is. And quite often we're frightened of change. No, grasp it. Grasp it. Now, I think there's a Chinese saying, but I'm not too sure where it came from, and it says, embrace the first failure, not the second or the third, but embrace the first failure. Because how many times do we sit down and think about why we were successful? We never do. But we often sit down and think about why we were failing, why we failed. You know, you learn far more from failure than you do from success. Now, the reason police video people, lots of reasons, but one of them is because they want to see how you communicate. So one of the things that the police allegedly do is they ask you some questions that they know the answer to. Right? So what's your name, what's your age, where do you live, blah, 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 blah. And what they're doing, they're calibrating you. And they're calibrating your facial movements, particularly your eyes. People look to the left when they're recalling, and look to the right when they're constructing, which is the NLP for lying. They're creating an event that didn't happen. But when they're recalling an event, they'll look to one side, normally to the left, and when they're creating an event, they look to the right. Here's an example. Rob, handsome argument, really beautifully presented, and I really respect what you have to say, but the data says you're wrong. One of the things I learned when I was doing my Six Sigma training, we learned this stupid mantra, and it was, you've got to torture the data. Because it sounded sexy. Yeah, you've got to torture the data. You know, as I grew up doing Six Sigma more and more, what I realised is the last thing you do is ever torture the data. Just stand back and let it tell you a story. It's desperate to tell you a story. Yeah? As much as you try and read Cinderella, you'll never get to the story about the 3 pigs. You know? You've got to torture the story to get to 3 pigs. You know? And blow your house down and all that sort of stuff. Because it's just not in the story. And that's what you're doing when you're torturing data. Just let the data, it's desperate to tell you a story. It's desperate to talk to you about your customers. It's desperate to talk to you about your process.